Ric Flair is lacing him up one more time at 73.
I see that Ric Flair is actually coming out of retirement for one last match. I bet you that raised a few eyebrows.
When it comes to being in that ring, that might be where he's most comfortable. Ric knows if he's healthy enough, and if it's something that brings him joy, brings him contentment, I wish him the best.
He can't stand it. He's got to get back on that horse.
I didn't even know that he would live. I never thought he would be back in the ring again.
And I don't think he's thought this through.
I mean, the fans are concerned about Ric's health. His struggles have been front page, right? They're no secret. I mean, let's just be honest.
I guess good for him. But do you think it's really his last match?
What Ric Flair is doing, he's doing that because he loves this business.
July 31st, Nashville, Tennessee. As promised, Ric Flair will walk that aisle one more time. Guaranteed this time to be the last time.
Why is he doing this match?
I think I know why he's doing it, but I'm not going to tell you that. But I think I know why he's doing that. But that's just a guess, and I could be wrong. But I'm sorry.
It's not money.
It isn't money?
No, it's not money.
Then I'm wrong.
Some people say you should never meet your heroes, but I guess those people's heroes weren't Ric Flair.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's this? What's going on here, huh? What's up? Filming a documentary. They think this guy's got some talent.
So growing up watching wrestling, if I had to credit me wanting to be a wrestler to one particular person, for me, it's without a doubt the Nature Boy Ric Flair. I kind of made a living off of pretending to be Ric Flair.
To be the man you've got. To be the man you've got to beat the man.
I have tried my hardest to describe what it was like and what the feeling was of getting to work with my idol 10 years ago, and it can't be done. I have tried, and as much as I try, I feel like I never quite do it justice.
Do you know where you are right now? Oh, yeah. No. I'm asking you, do you know where you are right now? Oh, yeah. In the world you want to survive in and be something in, you're standing in front of God right now.
I mean, I was excited, nervous. At some points, I felt like throwing up from excitement. I remember at one point when we were face to face in the ring, literally my hands went numb.
Whoa, hold on. Ric, I gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, I'm gonna get this footage and I'm gonna frame it and I'm gonna hang this on my wall, because right now, this is the greatest moment of my life.
And it was like a dream come true. And part of me was thinking, I hope my family is watching this. I hope the kids and my friends that I sat at the lunch table with in middle school and high school, I hope they were watching that. That's all I could think about, and how excited I was, and I felt like, man, I am being put on the wrestling map because of Ric Flair.
And in Elizabeth, New Jersey, there is a beautiful woman watching the television screen, to coin a phrase, with a tear in her eye, because she knows that her little boy has made it, because he's standing in the ring with the man. He's standing in the ring with the legend. He's standing in the ring with the Ric Flair.
As we stand here today, I am helping that same person that I idolize get ready for what is to be his last and final hurrah in wrestling, his last match. And the fact that he has come to me, like I can't even keep my hands still. The fact that he has come to me to help him get ready. There's no words in the dictionary to explain or describe how frickin' cool this is for me.
Is that right? Yeah. Little girls, look at the...
Slam off the top. Yeah, brother. Today. Hey, I thought they had you pushing that.
Yeah, I'm not putting it on hard, but I did it again today.
Yeah. Don't show Rick though. These are my workout socks.
A good guy that I trust. Like, you know, when you walk away from him for that long, and then be my age, I had to be really comfortable with someone that I trusted.
Yeah. My watch goes off.
Every time he hits the ground, his watch goes, "Hey, did you fall?" He's got to clear the alert. One of the toughest parts about this whole experience is in the back of your mind, or my mind anyway. I know how old Ric Flair is, and he's still going. It's an accomplishment and an honor. But also to be putting your body through this, have a little reservation about whether or not this is the safest thing to be doing, because this is, as they say, a young man's sport, and the danger is there, but we kind of all just try and tuck that away, because to get to do this, it's literally worth it.
To this day, I just turned 63 years old, and I have never done anything that equals the adrenaline, the rush, standing in the center of a ring with 10, 20,000 people around you, screaming so loud, it's like a white noise, you can't even hear yourself think. It's, it's something that nothing else can really duplicate.
Yes, there are skeptics that Ric Flair shouldn't do this, but again, we do not have the right to tell him what to do.
Well, maybe it's something that he needs. You know, maybe this is his finalization.
I mean, and you only live one time. It's your life, you get one of them. And look at all the Flair's been struck by lightning. He's been in car crashes, plane crashes. I mean, what else? I mean, there's nothing that can stop this man. So, like, if you're him, why not? Why not?
Oh, I'm very happy for him. I think this is great. Go out in a ball of fire.
Jim Crockett Promotions did not go out the way it should have. That you and I both know that we fought it tooth and nail with everything that you've gone through. You know, personally, you want to finally do it your way.
And not for the money, because I don't need it.
Yeah.
For once, I don't need it. It's for fun.
So many things in our lives that
we're
wrong.
Yeah.
That I spent so much time looking back.
Yeah, you can't.
I forgot to look forward.
Yeah, you can't. Me too. Yeah. Especially when I was sick.
Yeah. Oh, when you were sick, I was. Saw you in there, all. You're like a space creature. You had all these tubes and everything coming out of you.
It's a miracle.
I thought I lost you.
I woke up and had no memory of where I was for 6 months. I knew where I was going forward. I could remember nothing about it.
Thank God for your doctor.
Yeah.
That he didn't give up.
He didn't.
Really, because when I got the call, it's shutting down everything, and David, you need to come down. Because it might not be here tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, anybody that hasn't walked a mile in his shoes, seen what he's seen, can't judge that man. I'm just so glad to see that he has overcome so many things and he's getting a chance to have that last match. All the naysayers and the things people would like to say about people trying to do something past their prime, this is really a celebration.
This gym is Hard Knock South. I've worked with professional athletes of all types, and only those who really want to put the effort in keep coming back, because hard work is part of the ethos of this place. And Ric certainly has that.
I've seen clips online. I've seen him training. I've seen him on the row machine. And I asked my dad, and I'm like, how does he do it? And he's like, Brock, he was just always a cardiovascular machine.
There is a spirit in fighters that never truly dies, a hunger that never eases, a need to compete.
A little while ago, I had some genetic tests performed on Ric. He scored higher than some professional athletes I've worked with. And it became evident pretty quickly once he started training here how he got in shape really fast, and he just keeps pushing it. Stuff that would leave me floored, he comes back for more.
Me preparing for this match has been just, trying to get back where I was 35 years ago. It's hard to do. I'll be close. I just have to work on quickness and stuff like that. My endurance is good, but just have to keep working on it every day.
You might have broken bones, but you got strong. You might have broken bones, but you got strong. 'Cause I need to win one, get me back on my feet, with strong footing to get my punches on the heat. I need to win one, get me back on my feet, with strong footing to get my punches on the heat. I need to win one, get me back on my feet, with strong footing, get my punches on the heat.
Hell, you don't get it. I'm gonna crossbody somebody off the top rope. You ain't seen nothing yet.
And I got to tell you, we had a plan today to, we promoted it and all that jazz. We were going to have Jay Lethal on, maybe show some of those old clips, the woo-offs and all the stuff from Impact, but no Jay today. What's up with that?
Well, is he going to hear this if I say it? I don't care. He's got an attitude. He wants to be part of the show. And I said that ain't going to happen. You know how that happens, and all of a sudden everybody's feelings are hurt, so.
I think he's upset with me. I told him the other day that he wanted to be on the card, and I said, it's no fault of his, but he's not seen in that light.
Thank you. Jim, thank you. Thank you. Hey, so real quick. Yeah. So July 31st, monumental event. Is there any room?
Yeah.
You got.
I have a lot of respect for you. You know that. We've been friends above and beyond. Bet you're an opening match guy. In real life. I mean, I'm talking to you straight up. We're loading this up with guys that have got a resume. Okay.
All right. Okay.
But you would like to be honest with you, right?
Yeah, no.
I like when you tell me I'm f***ing around, f***ing off.
No, I got it. I'll see you next time.
Okay, thanks, man. All right.
Thank you. Love you too, man.
Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee and the Nashville Fairgrounds. This is an exciting day for our city and for everyone who loves sports entertainment and everyone who loves the great Ric Flair. WWE Hall of Famer, third generation wrestling promoter. Please welcome Jeff Jarrett.
In my opinion, is Jeff Jarrett a horseman?
Everybody can't be a horseman. That's a fact.
Jeff was over horseman. For sure, he could have never kept the pace. I said it, Jeff.
And of course, the man of the hour, the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. Please welcome the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. The event culminates on July the 31st with Ric Flair's last match. The event has grown so big, so many people want to be a part of it, that it's being moved to Municipal Auditorium in Nashville.
Ric Flair. Mayor Cooper has dedicated July 31st to be the Ric Flair Day here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Everybody out there, thank you for believing in me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. I promise you that on the 31st, I won't be Ric Flair of '89, but I'll be better than Ric Flair of '99. How about that?
Woo.
No, not '99. Whoa. Yeah, 2009. Had to think for a second. Well, maybe '99. Anyway, depends how much practice I can get out of lethal. He's pissed off at me right now. But anyway, I'm honored. Thank you for coming out today, and never be able to say how much this means to me personally. It seems like I've had more greater moments and more greater opportunities than any man alive.
I'm here today in a lot of ways representing Conrad, but talking about Starrcade. I've got another role in my life right now, but I'm truly tickled to death to be a part of the 3-day celebration.
Here's 2 tickets for Jeff and his dad, front row.
Oh, Mike, nothing's going to happen.
Okay. I was just moving back.
I get it. He was going to play a rib on him. He doesn't carry tickets around. He's going to play a rib on me. I guarantee you. I get it.
No, I'm not. We're going to play.
So do we want to keep going?
No.
We're going to end it.
No.
We're going to end it. All right. This is going to be looking forward to Starrcade.
Hey, there he is. Hey. Whoa. Great press conference. Hey, you even had the mayor's office out here, and I couldn't even get an invite? I had to fly myself out here? You're really gonna make me? Hey, what? No, shut up. On a serious note, I can't tell you how badly I feel used. You used me. All this time you used me. I just wanted a little bit, a little nugget. I couldn't even get on the show. That's disrespectful, and you know it. Could you put yourself in my shoes? Don't turn around.
Don't touch me again.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I talk down little guys like you.
That's right. That's right. You know what?
Yeah.
About time this happens.
Oh, God, that's my surgery.
Hey, come on.
Hey, with all due respect, Crockett, this has nothing to do with you. He's had this.
No. Hey, yeah. Somebody, come on.
Hey, get the hell off me! Get your hands off me!
Wait.
Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Jay!
I'll help him out! I'll help him out! You used me!
Jay, stop it!
All right. You know what? Jay,
stop it!
I got hot. That's my fault.
Oh,
my fault. I'll help you get him out.
Jay, just
the
stop!
man is my idol. Okay?
Jay,
I'll help you get him out.
I'm telling you, quit! That's enough!
I can't believe you're defending that.
Oh, boy!
I can't believe you're defending him. After all he's done.
Jay, he's 70-something years old!
He don't act like it. He does not act like it.
Get away from me.
Yeah, you see?
Rick, just calm down.
You see?
I said f off, Jarrett. Tired of you and your old man. Stop.
Jay. Hey! Wait a minute, come on! Jay, stop!
God, Rick, get up, please. He deserves this. Every second of it. Every second of it.
Jay, you have a right to be upset. Stop.
Help him up, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm good. Your help. I don't need nothing from you. Don't. Like you, and I respect you. But in real life, you've been an arrogant. I can't stand it. Oh, Rick.
Oh! Come on! Jeff! Give me your shoe! Jeff! Give me your shoe! Jeff! Give me your shoe! Wait a minute! Jeff!
Yeah, you see? You see?
That's a hard way, guys. The hard way.
You're damn right it is!
Damn right it is. Hard way, guys.
Stop! It's you, my husband.
You want it? Come on! Yeah! Shut up, Crockett! Stop it! My old man never liked your to begin with. Stop! Shut! Stop it! Damn it!
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
I loved you, okay? I loved you, you son of a. I loved you.
How's Ric Flair Day look now? How's the fairgrounds? The house that Jarrett built? Yeah, you want to joke around about the Four Horsemen? Does this look like a Four Horseman right here? Yeah, this son of a thought I hung the moon. He thought I hung the moon.
Don't meet your idols.
When he come begging,
Don't meet
he
your
came
idols.
begging for a job. How's he look now? How's he look now? You know, Rick, you didn't want me a part of your last match? Me and Jay Lethal, it looks like we'll see you on July 31st. No, Jay.
Growing up as a kid, I idolized Ric Flair.
This is about as real as it gets. And Lethal and Jarrett will be ready. This is fucking family. This is real. And he's a bad mother. And he's my son-in-law.
Please have a seat.
It's going to be the saddest day of my life, beating the my idol.
This is why I'm here. He's here because he married your daughter. That doesn't make him a badass. Oh, this is why. Yeah,
let's
show
it's
you.
the only-
Jim Crockett Promotions presents Ric Flair's Last Match, July 31st at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Starrcade weekend in Nashville, bringing wrestling companies together for one of the most unique cards ever assembled. Main evented by Ric Flair's Last Match. Tickets are on sale right now at RicFlairsLastMatch.com, and you can catch the show live streaming on pay-per-view and Fight TV for only $34.99. Ric Flair's Last Match. Walk in that aisle one more time for the last time.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to Be the Man. And of course, we couldn't do it without the Hall of Famer himself, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Rick, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm excited to be here with you. I can't believe we're home stretching it. It's hard to believe that
Lot of excitement.
Next Sunday, it's finally here. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. Well, it's a week from Sunday, right?
Yep. July 31st, Nashville, RicFlairsLastMatch.com. By now, everyone has seen episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 of our docuseries sort of explains your motivation and had some great appearances from Arn Anderson and Tommy Young and Nikita Koloff and David Crockett and Jackie Crockett, Magnum TA, and
a lot of memories there, boy. Oh my God.
And then episode 2, well, I'm a little disappointed in Jeff Jarrett. Any thoughts on seeing that back? I mean, the internet was kind of shocked when the match was revealed, and I don't think anybody expected that it would be something that looked or felt like this. Of course, if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch it now, RicFlairsLastMatch.com. But my goodness, man, the internet is a buzz this morning about what happened. What say you?
Disappointed, but not shocked.
Really?
Yeah. Even more motivated now than I was before.
you know, I do a podcast with Jeff Jarrett, and unfortunately, we were contractually obligated to do one yesterday. So over on My World, as luck would have it, you know, we make these topics way in advance. Well, I knew we'd be home stretching it for your show, so I scheduled the topic to be Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Of course, when I made the calendar, I had no idea that things would happen the way they did after the press conference, because you and I had a plan, and it felt like it was going to be a pretty big day to have the mayor's office come proclaim it Ric Flair Day, and have the voice of the Tennessee Titans, Mr. Mike Keith, there, and announce the robe raffle where some fan can win your actual retirement robe over at RicFlairsLastMatch.com. We had all this fun stuff lined up, and then, as you recall, I was horribly sick, got sick at the venue, left, went straight home, and then the next day, I hear the news that one of my podcast partners tried to kill Morgan's grandpa in the parking lot with a high heel.
Yeah. He did a pretty good job of it. Should have finished it.
Well, I know you haven't had a chance, and why would you, to listen to Jeff's podcast, but I promised him.
Give me some of the highlights.
You're going to love it. I'm sure we'll have some clips in this episode for everyone to hear, but
yeah, let me respond to what he's got to say. That's the easiest way.
And
just by the way, I've been saying this for a long time. If you want to be relevant, be next to Ric Flair.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, I mean, that was kind of my issue with Jeff. It feels like, you know, he always finds
how boring is being the executive director of House Show Entertainment. Wow. That's a big job. I just saw his boss yesterday.
Well, he, you know, I took him to task for essentially being a great value Ric Flair. I mean, he dyes his hair like you, he struts like you, he uses the figure 4 like you. And of course he says, "Oh no, it's Jackie Fargo." And it's like, I don't remember him using the figure 4. Or...
I don't remember Jackie Fargo. Neither does anybody else that didn't live in Memphis, Tennessee. Never saw Jackie Fargo in St. Louis. Or the Garden. Those guys from Tennessee got their own way of thinking.
Well, that's what's disappointing with Jeff, is it feels like he always finds a way to insert himself into this. Like, you know, he wanted to be a horseman. He wanted to be in the Bullet Club. I mean, if it's cool, he wants to glom onto it. And I see that he's an opportunistic kind of guy, but still,
there's nothing wrong with that. I don't fault him for that at all. Who wouldn't want to be a horseman, right? I didn't know anything about the Bullet Club, but
he doesn't either.
No, I mean, I didn't know that he wanted to be part of that.
It's just disappointing to me that this is the guy who I felt like, since he was the connection to the mayor's office and, you know, Mr. Nashville, and years ago helped Starrcade get hooked up with Fight, I just had a totally different impression and expectation that day than what we got.
Well, Jeff's a very smart guy. Make no mistake. He's, I'm sure he's done very well in business. He's an entrepreneur. I mean, if you look at his, I just happened to go through his Wikipedia. I don't even think he played high school sports, so athletically he probably didn't excel at anything except maybe he was in a band. But he's run every company. He must have worked for 37 different companies. He must be the 28 or 29 times world champion, if you count those companies to work for. I missed a couple of those.
Well, he was pretty critical of you in the clip over at RicFlairsLastMatch.com, and of course on his podcast, saying that, you know, it's real cute that now you want to play games with him, but once upon a time you came to him begging for a job. And I want you to have a chance to respond to that, because
begging him for a job
when you went to work for Impact 12 years ago,
he wasn't even around there. He was afraid to come to the set because Kurt Angle was going to kick his ass. Who's he bullshitting? I went to work for Hulk Hogan, who, by the way, told Jeff what to do too. Like he's told everybody over the years. I didn't go to work for Jeff Jarrett.
What's the reaction been that you've seen from some of your friends or family who saw either episode 1 or episode 2? And
They love it. They love it. I think it's great. I mean, now we got something cooking. I'm looking forward to this with Jeff. Hey, Jeff was a hell of a wrestler. I'm not taking anything away from Jeff and his skill. You know, but again, you know how much respect I have for Lethal. It just fueled the fire for me. Now I got something really hot to talk about, and don't think that I won't be ready. That's the key thing. Don't think that I won't be ready, and don't think. I'll tell you what else is a major factor. I wouldn't want to be the one of them if it came down to the real deal with Andrade. That son of a bitch will cut you. Don't think he's not a tough son of a bitch.
Well,
you need to go to Durango, Mexico for a weekend. I wouldn't want nothing to do with Andrade.
I tried to warn Jeff that Andrade is a eye for an eye motherfucker. And
oh, no shit.
Eye for an eye motherfucker.
I don't think he's got that fucking where he got cut in that street fight. Don't think he's not tough.
I told, Jeff in our podcast yesterday that although this is being advertised as Ric Flair's last match, it's going to be his last match too. And Andrade is going to make sure of it. After this.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, once again, I'm taking nothing away from Jeff's talent or his ability or his skills. He's a really, really good worker, a really good performer. And I wish him nothing but the best, but I can tell you this. The two of us are going to make it out of there and two of us aren't. And I've been carried out of a lot of places, so I'm not afraid of it. When you've been where I've been, you don't deal with the word fear. Fear is something that's anticipating something that you haven't already experienced. So I've been dead. I've been in an airplane crash. And I got nothing to lose. I got my family there. I will be clawing, biting, scratching. There'll be no rules. Hey, it'll be how it is. I got nothing to lose. He in turn, as the Jay Lethal, both those guys, one's 30 years younger than me, the other one's 20. What are they going to say to their family? Huh? What are they going to say when they walk out of there covered in blood? Where's Jay's career going to go? Where's Jeff's going to go? What's he going to say on his podcast the next week? Think about it. What are you going to talk about? I got beat by the old man. God damn. Where do you go from there?
Right.
Wah. Karen, I should have never fucked around with Ric Flair. Hey, if I get beat, I get beat. I've been getting beat my whole life by the likes of guys like Bruiser Brody and Harley Race. He's probably never been working guys like that. They didn't work in Tennessee territory.
Not for long. Talk to me about Jay Lethal. You brought him up. I'm curious, since he was your training partner and clearly now we see that you guys are no longer the good friends that maybe you once were. How's that affected your training? I mean, we did see your trainer in episode 2, Rob, and got to learn a little bit about him and just the way you've been getting ready cardiovascular wise and all that.
Yeah, I just had to find another ring, which I did to work in. I'll be honest with you, I'm losing Jay to work out in the ring is for me it's all about picking up the tempo and being in the best shape I can be in. And it's making. I mean, I've had 3 months to work on it, but it's hard to do it every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I found myself, I was working out so hard that I got tired. Then I thought I had pneumonia. Then I thought I had COVID. I mean, you second guess everything you do every day. But I figured out the pace now. And it's funny, I sat with Juliana Pena, who's fighting the day before me against Nunes, right?
Yep.
I was shooting a commercial this weekend talking about her training routine. And you know how intense that stuff is, but she you know, she made me feel better about the way I do it. I just can't do it every day. I'll do it 2 days hard and take a day off. 2 days hard, and then I'm trying to do it every day, and I was wearing myself down. Plus, trying to stay on a diet, you know. So, otherwise, I feel great. And by the way, I got a roll of Johnson tape right here. I got some Gillette blades, and I got a scissors.
My goodness. You know, let's talk about that because, you know, the internet being what it is, everybody had their opinions about episode 2. And again, you guys should go watch that, RicFlairsLastMatch.com. As a matter of fact, you know what? We'll put it at the beginning of this episode. So I know you've seen it. But I do want to ask Rick, you know, the internet sleuths, the know-it-alls, they have decided that, oh, I can see his blade. He's blading. This man's blading before he ever gets in the ring.
No way. Karen Shoe.
I don't mean to spoil the magic, but that was not the case. I mean, if you watch the tape, we even hear you yell, "It's a hard way, guys."
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was bad. It's okay. I haven't forgotten. Let me get up and walk away was the worst mistake they made.
Well,
everybody thought I was going to the hospital. I was going to the Palm to drink.
I can't wait to see the match. I think the undercard is going to be tremendous as well. You know, I hate even calling it an undercard because there is legitimately one fantastic matchup after another.
Yeah, you know, literally the most important thing for the 4 of us, and I'm putting the pressure on all of us, is we got a lot to follow. I'm looking at that wrestling card underneath it. I mean, you know, I'm not comparing the production or anything else to WWE, but there's some really good wrestlers on that show, and they're going to have a hell of a show the night before with SummerSlam and all the talent from the WWE, but they're going to have just equally as good a show. And probably with knowing you and the way you do things, the production will be on the same par as too. I mean, obviously it can't be the WWE because you spent $400 million on everything, but not that you don't have it to do. It wasn't flying that. I mean, certainly you could arrange that in 2 weeks. It was a matter of just taking out one of your credit cards, but it's the match that'll matter.
Well, I'll tell you this, the card is looking fantastic. We're going to run through that. But first, I want to remind everybody that this whole operation, this episode and this event is brought to you by CarShield, who make it easy and affordable. Protect my car from expensive repairs. And that's just for starters. CarShield is the #1 auto protection company in the U.S. and offers protection plans for around $100 a month. The plans cover more parts than ever before, whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles. And let me tell you how simple it is to get your car fixed. When you need a repair, you choose the mechanic, and CarShield's administrators handle the rest. That's it. You don't have to deal with the paperwork or headaches. You're taken care of. Same goes if your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road. Plans through CarShield also include coast-to-coast roadside assistance. CarShield administrators are there for you with rental car options and trip reimbursement at no extra cost too. Get coverage today and you'll lock in your price now, and it will never go up. That means as long as you own your car, no matter how old it is, you're protected from the rising costs of parts and repairs for your vehicle. CarShield helps protect my wallet from expensive repairs, and they'll do the same for you. Go to carshield.com/podcast to start your plan and lock in your pricing forever. That's carshield.com/podcast. A deductible may apply. So,
and by the way, thank you, Nick. The new commercial that drops in the next 10 days will be Ice-T.
Oh, wow.
Allen Iverson, the Nature Boy. And I didn't hear the name Jeff Jarrett one time mentioned by anybody at CarShield or Jay Lethal. And by the way, the Ric Flair DRIP line drops on Thursday in California. If you can smoke a joint, I'll have it in my possession on Saturday. If you want a gummy, if you want a woo chew, You want to get high?
Oh my gosh.
Ric Flair DRIP. It drops in California on Thursday.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
it ain't called Jeff Jarrett DRIP.
I think that's a different thing.
Yeah.
We do have a heck of a card or a show planned for you today that we're going to get into. We're going to watch some Starrcade 85, but before we do, I want to mention something else from 85 that's going to be on this show next weekend at RecFlairsLastMatch.com. Representing the Rock and Roll Express, it'll be Kerry and Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, and his son Kerry with Robert Gibson in his corner. They'll be taking on Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson, who are representing the Four Horsemen with AA Arn Anderson in their corner. How special will that be, man?
I mean, I'm sure that Arn feels just like I do every time. Well, I mean, I'm saying it for Ricky too. When you have a sibling or someone that it's attempting to follow in your footsteps, you've been famous. It's hard, but boy, I've only had an opportunity to see Brock 3 or 4 times, but if he can really articulate that his interviews I thought were great, a part of the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and I've seen him work twice. He can go. There's a very strong possibility that he'll be as good as his dad someday, and that's about as big a compliment as you can get in this business.
I think we're going to be looking out for some cross bodies, some spine busters, some double drop kicks.
Hey, don't think Arn won't get involved. I'll tie a blade on Arn before the match starts. I used to help make him before anyway.
My goodness. We've also got a tag team dream match with the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. A decade ago, people said these were the 2 best tag teams in the world. They only wrestled once on an independent show like 12 years ago, but now they're going to get the opportunity to do it at Ric Flair's Last Match. It happens July 31st. That same show is going to feature almost a rematch from Triple Mania that Dave Meltzer called a potential match of the year candidate. There were 5 guys in that match, and we've got 4 of them here, including Bandito, Laredo Kid, Taurus, and who a lot of people think may be the best wrestler in the world, Ray Phoenix. And then in something nobody thought we would ever see, for the first time ever, Josh Alexander, the Impact World Champion, will defend his Impact Championship against the longest reigning MLW champion in history, Jacob Fatu. I know you haven't had a chance to see everybody on this card before, Rick, but Jacob Fatu is turning a lot of heads. And when I recorded with Jim Ross yesterday, he told me
he's got the right last name.
Yes, he does. We've got the Impact Women's Championship on the line in a 3-way with Rachel, Mrs. Grace, and Deanna. And then we've got Killer Cross in a rematch with Harry Smith. They've only wrestled 1 time, but there were no ropes involved. It was a blood sport match. This is a traditional pro wrestling match. Killer Cross looking to even the score there. New Japan sent a match in Ren Narita and Clark Connors, who a lot of AEW folks have just seen. And then, of course, the Briscoes, who a lot of people consider to be the best tag team in the world, taking on the Von Erichs. The legacy and history of this card, man, that's a lot of history in there, is it not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, I just found out, I think from you, that Kevin will be there. That stiff son of a bitch. Jarrett should have tried him on for size, brother. That barefoot kick to the head is. He didn't know how tough he was.
Hey, so we can go ahead and break some news here. Dave Penzer, who was your ring announcer for years and years in WCW. He's going to be the ring announcer for our main event. He'll also make sure that the Horsemen and the Rock and Roll Express get proper introductions. So we're trying to check all the boxes. We hope you guys will join us. There's still a handful of tickets left at RecFlairsLastMatch.com. If you can't make it to Nashville, you can see the Horseman reunion plus the roast of Ric Flair and Ric Flair's Last Match, all at RecFlairsLastMatch.com. IWTV.live is independent wrestling's premier streaming service for live events and video on demand of past events. For just $10 a month, IWTV.live offers 20+ events streamed live each month from top independent wrestling promotions, such as ICW No Holds Barred, West Coast Pro, and Limitless Wrestling. Additionally, as an IWTV.live subscriber, you have immediate access to our extensive library of over 13,000 hours of video on demand content from over 300 independent wrestling promotions from around the world, including Beyond Wrestling, Prestige Wrestling, Absolute Intense Wrestling, and H2O. Our extensive library features wrestling superstars like Orange Cassidy, Jonathan Gresham, Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, and so many more. You can watch IWTV.live anytime, anywhere. IWTV.live is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV Stick, including mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. There's no long-term contracts required. Go to IWTV.live and subscribe today for just $10 a month. That's IWTV.live. That's IWTV.live. And it's just $10 a month. Come on, check it out. All right, Rick, so we're going to get started here. This is the main event from Starrcade 85. At this point, we've already seen both of you guys make your entrances to the ring. Of course, on the network, they drop all the music. But you wore that old classic robe, and it's identical to the robe that somebody is going to get a chance to win. We're raffling it off. All of the proceeds go to benefit a great cause, the First Step Foundation. Go check it out right now at roberaffle.com or RicFlairsLastMatch.com. But without further ado, man, let's get into it. Let's watch this main event with you and the American Dream in 3, 2, 1, play. And look who the referee is. It's Tommy.
Yep.
Rocking the purple, just like you will be next weekend. Man, look at Dusty.
Yeah.
Just the natural charisma. He's loving it.
Yeah, unreal.
So as folks may remember, Starrcade 3 was in 2 separate cities. You had a show in Greensboro, and this was the main event from the Omni.
Yeah.
I know that we always say that Greensboro was the spiritual home of Starrcade, but it was still pretty special to be at the Omni, was it not?
Oh, yeah. They were both sold out. Yeah, it was great. It just, Atlanta was always a great wrestling town, but Greensboro was official. It was our Madison Square Garden.
In a match like this with Dusty, obviously this is a different time. These days, maybe there would have been more discussion. Is this 100% called in the ring, or do you guys have some stuff in mind that you've done
on
the build for this?
Nothing. We don't even talk. Don't they wish they had him again?
Nobody like him. My goodness.
God, I swear to God, not even close.
You know, the famous line from LeBron James with your old interviews was that you were the inventor of swag.
Yeah.
In the 90s, Miami Hurricanes brought a swagger to the football field. In his own way, Dusty Rhodes did that to the wrestling ring. Did he not?
Absolutely. He brought so much to the business. I mean, it'll be talked about for years.
Can you imagine what Cody would have been doing this SummerSlam had he not torn that pec? I mean, what a performance that was.
Yeah, I know, God. Well, he's got his time. No, he's young. He's doing great. I stay in touch with him.
It's worth mentioning, we're actually going to be raffling off your trunks that you'll be wearing for your last match, and the proceeds will benefit the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. They're going to be there in Nashville, and of course, the idea behind that foundation is to give
Holy shit, leapfrog.
Look at that, dude.
I know.
Oh, now look at you begging off.
That was the best part of my performance. Oh, God, those were the days.
What's going through your mind in a big match like this when you know this is a bigger than normal audience, not just the fans in the arena, but closed circuit around the country?
Back then I didn't feel pressure. I knew that he and I had a very unusual chemistry. We had a great chemistry, but it was different. I mean, it's not like totally different than me and Steamboat or me and Sting or me and, who else did I wrestle out? Ricky Morton. I mean, Dusty just had his own style, but it worked for me. We had, great chemistry, and he worked his ass off. I did a lot of hour draws with Dusty. People have a hard time believing it. We wrestled a lot of hour draws. He didn't drag his feet at all.
of course, as we said, there's 2 shows here. This is the main event at the Omni. The main event at the Greensboro Coliseum is the Rock and Roll Express taking on the Russians for the NWA World Championship in a steel cage. And the Rock and Roll Express, man, they were about to be hotter than ever in 1986, were they not?
Oh, unbelievable. Yep. Unbelievable.
How often did you guys replace those canvases back then? It feels like that was just a staph infection waiting to happen.
But it was. It's a miracle, right?
Yeah.
You know, now you go, the WWE will change the canvas sometimes 3 times in an hour in a 2-hour show.
Wow.
If there's anything on it whatsoever, you know what I mean? They're so conscious of that. We're all lucky guys that bled a lot, like me and Dusty, are all lucky we didn't catch something.
Tommy Young was always the referee of choice back then, was he not?
Yeah, yeah. You know, what the Dream let me he let me nail him too.
Well, I can't wait for you to nail Jeff Jarrett. I think the internet's ready for that. Oh, is this going to be the old Harley race knee drop here?
This is it.
Wearing purple too. Look at you with your homage.
Hey, I got to get some knee pads like that, man. Where's my knee pads?
He's got you so.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That was to hide how small my calves were. See how the Dream could sell too? Jeez.
Yeah, he was not afraid to sell.
No.
Do you guys have you know, this is obviously a different time. This is not really pay-per-view, but closed circuit, but I'm sure there's still some sort of time limit or satellite time that's been rented or what have you. Do you have a hard out here, or is it just y'all gonna have the match and when it's over, it's over?
If I remember correctly, when it's over, it was over. I don't remember having it.
Oh, look at there. Somebody's calling the H.
Who's Gabby? With a fire sign.
Scroll through those text messages and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
How great was it to see Bob Caudle?
Oh my God.
1 and 2.
And Tommy.
Yeah. Tommy stole the show, man. Tommy had the line of the show in episode 3.
Yeah. Is Tommy coming?
He's not.
Why is there a health issue with Tommy?
He just doesn't think that, you know, he originally agreed to be the referee and was fired up to be the referee. And he's like, I just don't think I can do it. And I respect that. So I said, well, listen, I'd love to have you and just come ring the ring bell or whatever. And he goes, no, I know if I get there, I want to do it. And I just shouldn't. So
I'm going to call him and talk him into it.
Did you just give his phone number? We got to beat that.
I didn't give the area code. That's amazing. I still remember that number. It's like,
it is amazing.
We traveled together so much. What a great guy.
Yeah, he was a part of the real inner circle.
Oh, man. Everybody loved Tommy. What a referee. I know it's so into it, too. I mean, the slides and everything. I mean, that wasn't looked at, you know. Now people critique you for everything you do. Tommy was just passionate, man.
Well, I want to give a little love since we weren't able to land Tommy Young. I thought, well, the next best thing, if you can't get, you know, your favorite referee from back then, what about everybody's favorite referee now? So we got Mike Chioda.
Yeah, I love Mike.
I mean, how many WrestleMania main events has he done over the years? And now he'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike and I had a big argument. He said, Rick, I said, Mike, I know what I'm doing. He said, no, I just got it for the headphones. They said, do this. Mike and I argued in the ring. He won. He was right. Oh, man.
Oh, look at you trying the suplex. The knee gives out. Can't get him. Did you catch my cold when you were in town 2 weeks ago?
Oh, I might have, man. I'm not kidding you. I'm over it now, but still in the morning.
It like hangs on a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, no shit.
Man, look at Tommy Young getting right in there. What do you expect from Cody when Cody comes back? I think a lot of people think, it was he's a made man after that performance with the torn pec, at least with Vince McMahon. But what do you think when he comes back? Can we expect to see him in a big way at the Rumble and WrestleMania?
Well, there again, if I'm thinking and seeing how well he was received and he proved himself to be in that category of the word great.
Yeah.
He had set that to 2 gangbuster matches. That's the I have Seth Rollins, but he really did right by Cody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, yeah, to me, I would take him through it and eventually make him the champion. He's got the look. Because you know me, I'm a big fan of getting dressed up and all that. Carries himself like a businessman or champion. There's a lot of things about him I really like. Brock's got his own style, and we may never see an athlete like Brock again ever. A guy that size that can do all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And God, I don't know how they decided when they let him talk, but he's got a hell of an interview. Very believable, you know what I mean? And he's Brock Lesnar, but I would give Cody a shot at it.
Well, now feels like a good time to remind everybody this episode is brought to you in part by ProWrestlingTees.com. T-shirts designed and sold for over 2,500 pro wrestlers, all the big names: Sting, Macho Man, Stone Cold, CM Punk, and so many more. If you're looking for premium wrestling merch, get to ProWrestlingTees.com and support wrestling legends from the past and independent wrestling stars of the future with over 100,000 products shipped worldwide. When you order from Pro Wrestling Tees, all profits go directly to their families. Visit ProWrestlingTees.com today. And now they're introducing Powerbomb Pizza from Pro Wrestling Tees. It's powered by Kits Data. Powerbomb Pizza is pizza crafted and sold by pro wrestlers. Powerbomb Pizza is the first delivery-only pizzeria with over 30 locations that combine wrestling with handcrafted classic pizza recipes. All the profits go directly to the wrestling legends you love, like Mick Foley, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, and more. Order today on Uber Eats or visit powerbombpizza.com, and there's that slam off the top. You better not do that in Nashville.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm doing it in Nashville. If there's somebody tough enough to throw me off the top.
Well, after a night like this in the Omni, what was the after party like?
Oh, Conrad, you would have never been allowed to come.
I'm not allowed to come now.
The Marriott on Riverdale Road, unbelievable.
Teasing the big figure 4. Here we go.
There's Busted Open called me. That was Gabby.
Oh, there you go.
You made me in demand.
I'm actually going to be on Busted Open as soon as we wrap up here today. Shout out to Dave LaGreca and Bubba and all those guys.
Yeah, love them.
Sorry, Bully. Of course I haven't.
I'm pretty sure they're coming to Nashville, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What was the professional rivalry like with you and Dusty back then? I mean, obviously we see what it is in the ring, but we've heard the stories about watches and cars and mink coats.
Yeah. If he bought it, I bought it. If I bought it, he bought it. Also, there was a lot of competition between he and I. We didn't always see eye to eye. But
I think
that's
your
part
first match.
that's part of the see, that's part of the business. So what you just saw right there is nothing compared to what you're going to see in Nashville.
At
You're
this
gonna,
point,
are you going to have those kind of barriers in Nashville?
no, I mean, there will be barriers, but they won't look like that.
Okay.
You know, the old bike rack style.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Those are even better.
I think your first match against Dusty was like 10 years prior to this, 1975. But here you are 10 years later in the main event of the biggest show of the year. And I think everybody remembers the story that when you were first breaking in, man, you wanted to be like Dusty Rhodes.
I idolized him.
As a fan, as a little kid, I mean, I know there's the professional thing, but part of you has to think it's pretty damn cool to be in there with a guy that you held in such high regard.
Oh my God. I'll never forget our first big night in Greensboro. And he said to me, he looked at me and said, relax, kid. Just let the grand opening of Caesar's Palace. Yeah, he was always calm, cool, collected. He loved to be out there just like I did.
This thing really got built to a fever pitch in September at this same building in the Omni when the Horsemen jumped on Dusty and put hard times on him in the cage.
Yeah.
The fans were ready to riot, were they not?
Yeah, they did riot. I can imagine Sam Houston climbed over the cage and nobody knew. We didn't know he was a mark, and I think either Arn or Ole knocked him out cold.
Wow.
Yeah, it took us about 30 minutes to get out of there. They wouldn't let us out of the cage.
I want to remind everybody that when that happened, the Horsemen weren't even officially a thing. I mean, this is September of 85. I don't think it's until November of 85 that we actually introduced the concept of the Four Horsemen.
You'd have to ask Arn. I mean, that was all Arn's deal, man.
Yeah.
He just did it one day, and the next day, it was
there goes that Flair flop.
Huh?
So there goes that Flair flop. I love that.
You might get one of those in Nashville too. That's hard to do without being warmed up because it almost knocks you out.
Well, let's not do that then.
No. See, this is where he was so good. See, he's not even breathing there.
Yeah.
And he's 300 pounds, you know, he's not. I can remember Ray Stevens telling me with that blonde hair, he'd say, man, keep that.
You came off with it. Oh, it still didn't work. Damn it.
No.
Well, he went for that punt.
Yeah, you need to, when you're selling, you just need to keep one of your body parts, especially if you have long hair. I mean, people just look for everything like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even if you get taken over in a headlock, keep your feet moving. People aren't paying to see you just sit there.
They want to see movement, action.
Yeah.
When you think about some of the builds to Starrcade, a lot of people think this build, especially with the attack with the Russians inside the cage and all that this was the best build to Starrcade at that point. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. That'd be hard to beat the build with Harley.
Yeah. Flair for the gold.
Yeah. I mean, the first one, the way Dusty put that together, I mean, you know, it just, I mean, clearly that was him. See how Dusty right there? I mean, that's all. That's a lost art now today.
Do you remember there being controversy about the finish for this match?
I don't remember what it was.
Well, Dusty's gonna quote unquote beat you here, and everyone in the crowd feels like they just saw a title switch and that Dusty's become the champion. But the next week on TV, it's announced that Dusty didn't actually win because the first referee was knocked out and you got the belt given back to you. And this is, I guess, maybe the first major quote unquote Dusty finish.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. You know, that people love that finish. They hated it, but they loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got their 2 minutes being crazy, then it did piss people off. People thought I didn't like that. I love that finish.
Michael McClanahan wants to know, what was something you learned from working in the ring with Dusty?
Believe it or not, psychology. I mean, if that doesn't look real right there, nothing does.
Yeah. The idea that you're trying to make every movement count.
Yeah.
Augie would say, Dusty obviously had some pounds on Flair at this point, but the two of them still had great chemistry. What challenges would occur when Flair was working with larger opponents who maybe didn't have the same in-ring instincts as Dusty?
Well, it's a whole different, you know, if you're wrestling a guy like Brody, you kind of had to do what he wanted to do. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
But if you got along with him, which I did, and he respected you, which he did, then you know, ultimately his goal was the same as yours, and that was to have the best possible match. See here, look at Dusty, man. He's not tired at all.
No. Matt wants to know, with all your matches with Dusty, was this your favorite one?
Oh, it'd be hard to pick which one favorite one. The one I didn't like at all, the one that was bad was with Joe Frazier.
Yeah, that's the year before, 84.
Yeah. No, this actually was a real good match, I thought. But, you know, it's hard to say. It's like, was Chi-Town 8 my best match with Steamboat? Well, who knows? We had so many, I thought, another situation, great chemistry. Totally different than this, you know what I mean?
When he beat you for the belt in Greensboro in 86, that was pretty awesome inside the cage.
Who, Dusty?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as you saw there was two moments that happened there that took Tommy Young down. The first was Dusty kicking out of a pin, and he winds up landing on Tommy, and then he Irish whipped you in, and boom, out goes Tommy to the outside. They have a spotlight on him, but now Dusty's got you with a figure 4 in the middle, but there's no referee, and here comes Arn Anderson.
Oh, kick right to the head too.
Look at Ole circling around. Here are the Sharks, man. Here they come. God, I wish Ole was able to get around these days. He'd have been so much fun in Nashville.
Yeah, what is he just literally housebound right now?
Yeah. There's our replacement referee. False finish, though. Dusty kicks out. There's the inside cradle. Here it is. And look at there. Fans are going to go nuts. I think they've just seen a world title change, but of course the NWA is going to overturn it because the first referee, Mr. Tommy Young, was down for the count, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, but see how these guys hit in the ring make it seem so damn real and good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Superstar there.
First one out, man.
Yep.
Dylan wants to know, does Cody remind you of Dusty in the ring, on the mic? Both? Neither?
Who?
Cody. Does Cody have any similarities to Dusty that you see?
No, in terms of mic, no. But that's not his sound. Nobody could be Dusty Rhodes on the mic.
Right.
I mean, he just was one of a kind.
Adam Arpin says, how crucial to the angle was Dusty? By that, I mean, could you have swapped him out with any other top baby faces with how hated the Horsemen were here and it still work?
No.
Or did he bring something to that rivalry that nobody else could replicate?
He brought something to the rivalry that could duplicate. Because, God, we tried, so many different times. I mean, we had, a huge run with Ricky Morton. Not so much Steamboat with that time frame, but, I mean, we just, anybody we touched, it was big. We had a hell of a run with Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah.
I mean, tag matches with Ronnie, and then of course the Road Warriors. My God, I mean, the list is endless of of stuff we did with the Horsemen that drew money, number one, and made people really happy. But it made us happy because we enjoyed hopefully giving them the best performance of the night.
Well, we just saw that footage and that replay again. Steelers fan 8771 wants to know, coming off the angle in the Omni where you broke Dusty's leg and the infamous Hard Times promo from Dusty, do you think in hindsight he should have won clean at Starrcade instead of 7 months later at the Bash? Probably. I mean, don't you think? Or did you like that teasing?
I can't. Tell me what we did at Starrcade.
Well, what you just saw was it looks like Dusty won, but
yeah,
give you the belt right back. So he didn't really win. I think in hindsight, if you had it to do over again, you'd probably keep it on him, right?
I guess, yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember. Was I still traveling then?
Not like you were before. The territory thing was starting to die down. And I guess you still were, but not like you were before. 86 is going to be mostly Crockett.
But
still much touring, but still Crockett based.
Still traveling quite a bit, though, I think.
Yeah, and
I think the reason was Dusty was the booker.
Yeah.
Why would you leave a job where you're making more money? People don't realize it. The first year I had the belt, I made $50,000 less than I made working for Crockett.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't draw any money. Who's Ric Flair? I had only been on a Super Channel a couple times. Harley kept saying
you weren't established yet as a name.
Yeah, and people, I mean, they knew who Ric Flair was, but what does that mean? I mean, let's not run to the arena. And of course, nobody. I have to wrestle all these guys an hour every night, and half of them never wrestled 15 minutes.
Right.
So it wasn't exactly the greatest run of my life. And I really thought I was ready to be the champion. We've talked about this before, but until you go out and travel around and wrestle guys that haven't had, I mean, all I was wrestling my whole career were top guys from Wahoo to Jack Mulligan to Dusty to Steamboat. I mean, all these great guys. And then to step out of that box, that comfort zone, and travel around the country wrestling guys that never wrestled 15 minutes, much less an hour, which was the deal, because when the NWA was in its peak, the champion either got his Duke raised or he won an hour. There was no in between.
Well, now it's time to tell you about RecTeq, an amazing company that offers wood pellet grills fueled by all natural hardwood pellets, along with other outdoor lifestyle products like coolers, apparel, grill accessories, and more. They've got grills ranging from just $3.99 all the way up to $3,000 from the very entry level budget you might have, or maybe you're like a professional griller and you need a rig to take with you or whatever. RecTeq has grills for every lifestyle, every budget. Here's what you can count on from all their grills: a key focus on flavor, convenience, versatility, and their factory direct pricing eliminates the middleman, and all their grills ship for free. Plus, RecTeq pellet grills are made with high quality stainless steel and are built to last a lifetime. Now, take it from me, I've owned another big brand out there for those pellet smokers, and I have a RecTeq. There is no comparison in the quality of construction or the technology. I'm talking about the flagship model from RecTeq, the RT700. It comes with a 40-pound pellet hopper. It's got 702 square inches of cooking space, and they've also got an incredible PID Wi-Fi controller. That is like best in class, boys and girls. That other smoker I was talking about I had, well, you couldn't turn your grill on, but right here with RecTeq, you can turn your grill on, turn it off, adjust your temperature up and down, all from your phone. And it also has a 6-year bumper-to-bumper warranty. You can't get that. Come on now. You can bake, you can smoke, you can sear, you can grill, and even dehydrate on the grill, all with the push of a button. And that's why those in the know choose RecTeq. So it's time to toss that tasteless gas grill, that messy charcoal grill, or even that overhyped brand name grill aside and join an elite wood pellet grilling family. By focusing on flavor, convenience, and versatility, RecTeq sets the new standard in grilling. Visit RecTeq.com, that's RecTeq, and use the promo code NatureBoy to get 5% off site-wide. That's 5% off their top-notch wood pellet grills, one-of-a-kind RecTeq ice or cooler, the chef tested rubs and sauces, the accessories, the merchandise, everything's 5% off at RecTeq.com with the promo code NatureBoy. That's RecTeq.com. The promo code's NatureBoy. I've got one. Eric has one. Brian has one. Everybody I know has a RecTeq, and they all love it. You got to see what all the fuss is about. Go check it out for yourself. As Jim Ross says, it costs nothing to look. RecTeq.com. Ric, this is an important time in your life, my friend.
Can you see that?
Look at there. Yeah, we got to get that up on the screen. We'll make sure we share that.
Ric Flair DRIP, baby. Drops Thursday, California. I'm about to have a Conrad in 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. I can't thank everybody enough for all of their support, and I hope you guys will check out RicFlairsLastMatch.com. We've got episode 1 and episode 2 out now, but episode 3 drops this coming Monday. It's our go home episode, if you will, right before the big show. But it's coming out this Monday at 6:05 Eastern. And you saw a little tease at the end of episode 2 there, Ric, the contract signing. And I've seen a little bit of footage, and it wasn't just Jeff. It wasn't just Jay. It wasn't just you and Andrade. You both had attorneys there, and unbelievably, David Crockett was in the middle of you and Karen Jarrett going back and forth. We haven't talked about Karen much, but she managed to insert herself into that parking lot scene. What should we expect next week on episode 3?
Well, I don't. You know, I've always had a problem with women speaking for their men. And 4 divorces later, one speaks for me. No one steps in front of me. No one talks for me. I don't need that, and I won't accept it. So, you know, if Jeff's comfortable with her, doing that, that's fine. So, Jeff's got to live up to everything that she says he is. So that's his problem. So what did Jeff say? Give me something I can respond to here.
We'll have you some clips to review, and we'll take a look at that next week. Nothing
today.
I don't think we have any clips prepared today because.
Well, you did it with him. Give me an example.
Well, he's critical of a lot of things.
Give me an example.
The idea that Crockett didn't want to do business with his dad in Memphis, and you guys decided you could do it on your own, and that whole Liberty Bowl plan went sideways.
What's that got to do with me?
Well, because he said it was, you were arrogant and didn't want to do business, and then of course that continues through.
He wasn't even involved in it. That was supposed to be me and Lawler, and I'd already put Lawler over there and in Rupp Arena, which we sold them both out. So we're going to the Blue Bonnet Bowl, and they didn't want to do it.
The thing that annoyed me the most, maybe in our episode, it's My World, and the topic was Ric Flair. It came out just yesterday. If you want to check it out, where you enjoy podcasts. But I think we uncovered maybe the root of what his big issue is. A few years ago, he turned his life around and quit drinking and went to treatment and started his road to recovery, and very quickly went into the Hall of Fame. And it was announced that he was going into the Hall of Fame. And I reminded him, as he's MFing you left and right on the podcast, that you were the first person to call and congratulate him.
Yeah.
On going into the Hall of Fame. So it's not as if you guys had a bad relationship.
No, I always liked Jeff.
I think a lot of his anger and resentment is that he has quit drinking and you have not, and he feels like you should, and you're pissing your life away and all this nonsense. And
I'm doing what with my life?
And I asked him, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to beat it out of him? And
what am I doing with my life again?
He is not a fan of you continuing to drink, and he takes it personally, and I don't know why.
Oh God, he's not alone. The fraternity ain't closing anytime soon.
I don't think you're gonna. I know that Andrade is going to be upset because he did have a comment in there, and I guess maybe I've buried the lead here. He was very critical of the way you handled Jay Lethal. And I had to admit that I probably wouldn't have handled it the same way you did, but Jeff just sort of glossed over the fact that in wrestling, if you're signed with one of the major companies, there's really no such thing as an independent contractor. You have to get permission to participate in events that are outside of the tent like this one.
Yeah.
And there's a process. It's not like you just say, okay, Tony Khan, here's what we're doing. All right, Vince McMahon, let's dictate some terms to you. That's not the way this works. So we had to have conversations and work through a process. And Jeff, you know, didn't want to hear that and felt like you had been disrespectful to Jay in the way you handled him as not allowing him on the card. And so he takes a lot of credit in helping Jay get on a national stage with TNA years ago and all of that. And he blames you for Jay no longer being there and says that it was guys like you and Hogan who said, oh, we don't have the budget for guys like Jay Lethal. And
Jesus Christ. Listen, here's my answer to all that. See, every time some shit like that starts, here's the deal. Your buddy and mine, who I just saw yesterday, Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
Booking TNA, whatever he was doing, right? It wasn't called TNA?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he calls me and tells me I got to be somewhere in Louisiana. Well, that wasn't part of my deal. So I said, you got to be there. I said, take the TNA and shove it up your ass, Bruce. And I'll call Bruce right after we get off this. And I never went back. You know what I mean? Just what it was. I tell you, I enjoyed being with Jeff at TNA. I enjoyed James Storm. I enjoyed Age. I mean, TNA was not hard.
Yeah.
TNA was fun. But there's so many conflicting stories as to how that fell apart for me. And the only reason I went there, and this is, I'll say it as loud as I can say it, I needed the money. Because I was paying alimony to 3 different women. That's the only reason I went to work there. And they made me a very lucrative deal. But at some point in time, I just, from day one, when they had us signing autographs side by side before we wrestled each other.
Yeah.
And then after the match, sign autographs side by side. Are you kidding me? For $25? It's like working at a carnival. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I had just gone from WWE to this. I'm thinking, well, it's pretty cool. Hulk's going to do it. I'm sure Hulk was making who knows, minimum of $1 million, probably more. And then along comes, and it doesn't matter how we feel about each other today, but first thing they do, they got Russo and then Bischoff, and then I'm right back. I'm right back where I ended up before. You know, first thing they wanted me to do was give my Hall of Fame ring to look to Abyss. Yeah. And then the fight, the argument, the ongoing stress of just going to get another Hall of Fame ring, which no one in the company had, going to Miami, getting the day off. I mean, what the hell? You'd think, my God, this guy's going to go get something that's never been given before, be a 2-time Hall of Famer, but no, became a big political nightmare. So.
Well, the other thing that I know is going to be a burr into your saddle is when he's talking about how he was offended by the way you handled Jay Lethal. And of course, if you saw episode 2, unfortunately, you saw where Rick referred to my old friend Jay, who I guess is not anymore, as being an opening match guy. And he said, you want to talk about an opening match guy? Andrade is the definition of a curtain jerker. What's he ever done? What's he ever been? And
wow.
Look at my record.
Wow.
And I
wow.
said, Jeff, that's the right thing to
wow. That doesn't get under my skin, but man, has Andrade heard that line yet? When will he hear that?
He'll hear it today. And
wow.
This will not only be Ric Flair's last match, this will be Jeff Jarrett's last match.
If he said that about Andrade, Jesus Christ, he needs to go spend a week in Durango, see where that kid grew up in the streets of. Holy shit. I love that. I'm going to call Andrade ASAP. Damn.
Well, boys and girls, stay tuned. Everything's happening at Ric Flair's last.
Can I tell you something right now?
Please do.
And I'm saying this from my heart, and you know her very well. Jeff, if she sees him behind his curtains, make it the shit beat out of him by Ashley before he ever gets to the fucking ring. Tell him I said it. You don't want nothing to do with her. I got news for you. She stands by her man. Good Lord. I wouldn't want her coming at me 100 miles an hour. I've seen it. Oh, wow.
The bargain turned up, boys and girls.
That was not a smart comment.
A bad thing to say.
Especially to her husband. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. If she wasn't coming, I know she's there now.
I have a feeling.
Both her and Karen, they both better walk around her on glass. God damn. That's great shit. A curtain jerker, Andrade. Wow. Okay. Looking forward to next week, man.
RicFlairsLastMatch.com.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. We're all going to experience the same thing. May the best two men walk out.
Well, they will.
And here's to a hell of a day in Nashville, Tennessee, a weekend. Can't wait.
Get started with the roast next Friday. It's all happening. RicFlairsLastMatch.com. Pick up your tickets. Come see us. And if you can't make it to Nashville, no problem. We got you covered. It'll be on satellite. It'll be on cable. It'll be on Fight. It's RicFlairsLastMatch.com.
Yeah, and I understand there's more people coming to. I can't say this like an idiot. Never mind.
Let's get out of here before we get in trouble. RicFlairsLastMatch.com this Monday, 6:05. We'll see you there.